Are you rooted? You're joining us for a brand new series today, so stick around. You are enjoying the Step Out and Thrive podcast. Welcome to the Back to the Step Out and Thrive podcast. My name is Bethany B. Joy. And if you're wondering if you're in the right place, well, this is a place where anybody can come, take off whatever title is that you're wearing, whether you're a leader, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a counselor, whether you're a nurse, whether you're mom, dad, whatever it is. This is your invitation to come, take a deep breath, and be seen for who you are, not for what you do. This is Step Out and Thrive, and I'm so glad that you're in this place. We're just beginning a series all about rooted in the storm. And I want to preface this because we just wrapped up a series about my new book that just came out, which is called Step Out and Thrive, Finding God in the Everyday When Nothing Makes Sense. And you go, Bethany, why are you bringing this up? We already did a whole series about it. Well, take a look at this cover. And I'm not sure how I'm doing this. Y'all know that I have vision loss. This is just a previous copy, like it's a pre-printed copy, like I couldn't actually sell it because it's got that thing on it. But you can still see down here, if you're looking where my finger is pointing, is a little plant. And you can see that the desert is kind of all around there. The storm is coming up. And so the reason I'm sharing this is that this was a really hard cover for some of my people to really accept and get around. I love involving people in every part of my process when I'm writing, when I'm creating, because I don't know what's going to happen, right? I've had several projects in mind that have gone not as planned at all. And the Step Out and Thrive book that actually happened. You just never know, but it's so fun inviting people along the journey with me. So what I did is I decided to put several of the different cover ideas on Facebook and have people tell me, what do you think? Okay, honestly, I kind of already knew the direction that I wanted to go, but I like to have people get involved with the process. In doing so, many people did not like the idea of this poor little plant coming out of this dry ground to a storm. And I get it. It's a hard picture to really have, but many other people are like, I get that. I feel that. I understand what that looks like. To feel like we're working so hard and finally break through the surface only to find that a storm is waiting for us. Our roots matter. That time when we are in the ground, growing, getting rooted, feeling in the darkness, not sure what's going to happen, those times of really growing roots, that time matters. Because that's not the hardest time of our life. It gets harder as we come up out of the ground. And some storms we may think are going to be hard, but they end up changing. A lot of things can happen. A lot of analogies are going to happen. But here's the real point about the series. Number one, as we go through each part of the series each week, I want you to come around with one. I want you to think about yourself and your story. Is whatever we're talking about that day, are you rooted in that? And number two, I want you to think of those around you. Because here's the thing, regardless of where we are in life, we are going through things and other people in our life are going through things. And so many times we either get stuck into what we're going through or we're focused on what somebody else is going through. And here's what happens. We try to have this connection and we're being blocked by something that's going on, right? We're not really seeing the other person. We're assuming what's going on with the other person. We're seeing life through the storm that we're going through. We're not paying attention to our roots. And that is how we really see other people. Today's is all about really focusing on who are you rooted into. Now, some of you guys are like, whenever I get questions like that, I kind of picture these little kids in the Sunday school classroom, okay, who's the best person in the world? And this little kid goes, Jesus, right? Yes, that is the answer, but I'm going to go a little deeper than that if you don't mind. When was the last time that you truly felt love for who you are and not for what you do? I'm going to say that one more time. When was the last time that you truly felt loved for who you are, not for what you can do. Now we're making deeper roots. As a mom, there's so many times, and I mean this in a nice way, that I feel love for what I do or don't do, not for who I am as a mom. And I never really thought I would get this until my kids are getting older. And it so much is like, Mom, can you pay for this? Can you cover this? Can you make sure I can go here? Can you give me some free time? Can you, whatever it is? And I'm going, and meanwhile, I'm thinking about how my childhood went. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I remember how this goes. But it also applies later on in our life. For instance, I remember, and I'm going to pull out an earlier ministry memory. When I was getting ready to give birth to my last kiddo, I didn't know that was going to be the last kiddo at the time. And as I was getting ready for that, I was actually let go from the ministry that I was at. And the way that it was situated, and it was just a perfect storm altogether, honestly. The church was struggling in itself. They were about to hire on a senior pastor. I was the only full-time staff member at that church. So I was just trying to keep it going through my own health issues. There was just so many things going on. And so here I was about to have my third child. Even more health issues were going on. And the senior pastor was coming in and he wanted more money. So they had to get rid of something. And I was the only full-time person there. And I really couldn't deal with part-time. So I needed to find some way. So basically, long story short, I came in to the last Sunday. I was going to be there before giving birth because I was going to be induced. I mean, boys are due anytime. But all three of mine had to be induced. So they just wanted to chill out for a while, which was actually easier for me because, I could plan. So anyway, all this to say, I walked in, and I'll never forget it, on the printer, because I knew I was going to have a meeting with some of the leaders after church that day. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew there was a lot of stuff going on, but I'll never forget that on the printer is where I saw the letter that they were going to let me go. And my heart just sunk. And I knew it was coming the whole entire day. I knew it was coming because I had to get through the morning service. I had to get through helping out with the kids that day. And I couldn't say anything to anyone. And it was so hard for me to do that. I remember the next day going back to the office and beginning to clean things out. And I remember thinking every item that I picked up in my office had some kind of memory attached to it. I remember wanting to cry, but like nothing was coming. There were so many things I was doing. I was leaving an office, trying to pack things up, and going back to a house that we didn't even know for sure if we were able to keep at the time. Walking into what was going to be my son's nursery, making sure all that was prepared at the same time. I was just confused. I felt like I didn't really fit in anywhere at the moment. And little did I know at that moment, when my child was born, a couple days later, that they were going to find out that they thought he was deaf, DEAF, and a term called auditory neuropathy, which led us down a totally different medical adventure. All of this to say, I really fought with that idea with, do they just want me because of what I did? Or do they really love me for who I am? That had me spiral, honestly, because I feel like I've been in several different situations in my life where, especially in ministry, I felt like I was loved for what I could do, not necessarily for who I was as a person. And then I'll contrast that. Walking into some of the groups, like Step Out and Thrive, like confessional communities, like Luke 10. There's so many amazing groups out there where I feel like I can be a part and I can show up and not even say a word. And I know that I'm loved and I'm cared for and I'm seen and I'm understood. There are days that I can step up into a leadership role, and there are days that I can hang back and just be. In both days, I feel equally as wanted and loved and cared for and seen. That's an experience that many people, honest to goodness, don't get on a normal basis. It's because we're so used to, especially here in America, earning, right? Earning our place. Those of us with physical disabilities, emotional disabilities, cognitive disabilities, whatever, we struggle. And I can say we because I know I'm not the only one. We struggle with feeling like we have to do the next best thing better than anybody else in order to earn what? Love. In order to earn respect. In order to learn something from somebody else. So with that being said, I want to ask you, when and how far do you have to bend to earn the approval of other people before you break? Because here's the thing, if we really do live to be loved for what we do and not for who we are, we lose ourselves, but we also break our roots. We become so disconnected from God, from who He made us to be, that we end up being this other person, and honest to goodness, our roots come very disconnected. And it's really easy to do. So do not fear if you're listening to me and you're going, Bethany, that is me. Like, I have fallen into a trap of being loved for what I do, not for who I am. And I don't even know who I am anymore. We all, can we be honest? We all go through seasons like that. You are not alone. This is not one of those condemning things. It's more of an awareness. Because sometimes we know something's off, like I said at the beginning, and we're just not sure what. So there are going to be things that you hear during the series where you're going, oh. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. And I'm only going to give one challenge a week, because if you're anything like me, it's like I lose track of like these 3-point messages. I'm like, I don't even know what point 1 was anymore. So I'm going to keep it really simple for you. One challenge to do this week. Ready? Your only challenge is before you do the next thing. I know, and you're going, Bethany, I'm in the car driving right now. Or Bethany, I'm about to do something right now. Don't you dare tell me that I need to do something before I do something else. Okay, hear me. Hear me out, okay? I want you, before you do the next thing, to grab yourself a quiet space. Or even if you're a mama like me and you're surrounded by kids and dogs and everything else, you can do it in your head. They don't have to know what's going on. My kids don't know what's going on in my head half the time anyway. But just go, no matter what happens, I am loved. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But it's really hard in those moments when we're about to walk into an important meeting. Or we're about to come into our kids' room and tell them that we're not going to be able to do something that they really wanted to do. There are times, no matter what angle it is, that we know that we're going to disappoint people. We don't really feel loved at that moment. But our roots, knowing who God is, knowing who Christ is, knowing for how He has shown up for us time and time and time again, for who we are, not for what we do. We know that we have purpose. We know that we are meaning. We know that we are loved. You're going to repeat that to yourself. If you want to go the extra step, join us in the Step Out and Thrive community. Every week, these podcasts are put in the community. You might be watching that in the community right now. And we get to have fun discussions together. So join us in the comments below if you're joining us in the community and you're like, Bethany, what community? What are you talking about? Join us, the free tier of the Step Out and Thrive community. It's just that, it's free, just so you can join in and have these conversations and find your tribe. So you can go to community.stepoutandthrive.com. If you really want to know an easier way of doing it, just go to stepoutandthrive.com and click join the community. That's the easier way. There's a free tier and there's also a paid tier where you can get in every day, every week, real community, which is awesome too. But regardless, I want to make sure that you have a connecting point. You are seen, you are heard, you are loved. Let's get rooted. Dare to do more than just survive. Step out and thrive. See you guys back here next week. Bye. Thanks for enjoying today's Step Out and Thrive podcast, the one place that you can always count to dare to do more than just survive, to step out and thrive. As always, for more information, please check out BethanyBJoy.com or StepOutandThrive.com.